This is Dad in dark mode, and he's proof men are starting to wake up. We were raised by women who hated men. Uh, let's hear what he has to say.
Let me say something that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. And by a lot of people, I mean women.
No, Dad, you mean men. Women will momentarily get annoyed by this and just ignore it. This harsh truth you're saying will affect men profoundly.
So, a lot of us men, if not all of us here in the West, were raised by women. But we were raised by women who didn't actually like men.
Well, to be honest, that is the state of womanhood. It's not just a kind dad. This is women's nature.
And now I don't mean just your mom, right? I mean the entire ecosystem. Moms, teachers, counselors, therapists, daycare workers.
You're getting it, dude. You're getting it. So you can see it's not just a class of women. This is the default nature of women towards men. They don't like us, right?
Church staff, you name it,
Oh, by the way, it's not who hated men, it's who hates men. It's not in the past. Nothing has changed.
we were told by those same women to grow up and be a gentleman, to be kind and respectful and protective and
To submit. That's what a gentleman is. He's a man who submits to women.
safe. We heard that a lot. But there's a caveat with that. It was you were never to be too assertive, right? Never too confident or too masculine.
Forget about the word masculine. The first two what count. Not too confident, not too assertive. In other words, know your place.
In other words, be the thing they hated, just behave better. Let me
No, you are the thing they hate. You are the thing you hate. They hate.
repeat that. Be the thing they hated, just behave better.
You're acting like there's a kind of man they dislike. There isn't. They don't like you, period. You are male. That is all.
I mean, of course, the first woman who ever loved you, it wasn't your girlfriend or crush, it was your mom. Or maybe she didn't love you, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, good point. I'm going to clarify. Uh, Women struggle for abortions, for the rights to kill us. They're babies in general, right? They want the power over life and death. But the point is, even mothers tend to hold their male children in contempt.
So, I mean, because those exist. So, especially the ones that really hate dudes. Um, but yeah, I mean, let's say your dad was either gone, he was weak, he was abusive, or
Why are you making excuses? He was weak or abusive. Since you're admitting, Dad, that women don't like men, then he could have been a perfectly good guy. And she just got tired of him and threw him out. So why are you giving into their framing?
respected in the home. I mean, that love came with strings. So, and those strings are
Then it wasn't love.
that men are dangerous, right? They're selfish. They are the problem. And you may have heard, "Don't be like your father."
That is used to attack you at your very core, right? Don't be like your father. Don't be male, but you can't. You can't help it. You weren't born the daughter.
You didn't just learn that love had conditions. No, you learned that you, as a boy, we're guilty until proven safe.
Uh, Don't give in to their framework. It's not about safety. They're not afraid of us. Women have zero fear of men. They have total dominance. No, it's disgust. You're disgust them. And there's no earning your humanity, Dad. There's no earning your humanity. You know, the black man cannot earn his humanity to the KKK members. This is how you have to understand the situation.
This wasn't love, not at all. It was early stage programming. That's what you experienced, and it taught you to be ashamed of your masculinity and to be ashamed of it before you even understood what it was.
Well, the programming comes from a source of hatred. It's an exercise in hatred. It's not so much even to control you, it's just to show hatred towards you.
We were told to control our emotions. You were told, "Hey, control your emotions."
Don't don't stand up for yourself. It means two things. One, never stand up for yourself, never fight back. Two, male expression of emotions disgust women. It turns them off.
Control them. But you weren't taught how. You were taught to simply suppress them, especially anger.
Don't you were never taught the how, eh? You were never taught how not to be a man. Right.
Never let that cat out of the bag. Mm-mm. You were told to respect women,
Submit to them.
but not to respect yourself when a woman disrespected you. You were told to be kind and be gentle.
This is all gaslighting. Women are very turned on by violent men. It's a part of the torture, dude. Right. Gaslighting.
But you weren't taught how to say no without fear of rejection or punishment. Plain and simple, you were not raised to be a man.
Yes, you are. This is what manhood is. This is what men are to women. People that they don't like and they exercise their sadism on. This is what manhood is. Dad.
We were not raised to be men in this country.
Yes, we were. This is what manhood is. You think in the third world, men aren't working like dogs for their women? This is what manhood is, Dad in dark mode.
In this culture, we were raised to be safe for women, to be safe for women. And if you stepped outside those lines, you got hit with the ultimate insult. Possibly. You're acting just like your father.
You're being male. That's what it means. Right. And I hope you get to the point where you don't say safe for women. The guys say that they always ridicule their bullies. It's like when your bully beats you up and steals your lunch money, you don't turn around and say, "Oh, he stole my lunch money." Right, dude? You're acting like it's crazy when this makes perfect sense.
Right? You heard that one before? You're acting just like your father. But let's talk about numbers here. Let's talk about, school for a second. Over 76% of K through 12 teachers in the US are women.
Yeah, they booted men out, right? They make a false claims that men are dangerous for children when it's the other way around. Women are dangerous to children. Teaching should be practically 100% male to protect the students.
In early education, it's over 90%. From the from the moment you step into a classroom, you are placed in a behavioral system designed by women for women.
No, designed by women to harm you, to harm you. Wasn't meant necessarily for women. It's for your abuse.
For girls. Boys aren't, they're just outnumbered, they're outcultured. You're expected to, sit still for hours, use your inside voice. Never interrupt. No, never talk back.
Well, there you go, right? Never interrupt, never talk back. Right. Know your place. Girls can be just as rowdy and loud as boys. So it has nothing to do about what you're doing. It's who you are.
Never challenge authority. Always be obedient. But what's actually happening is that normal male behavior is being pathologized.
Well, men are being pathologized. So it didn't matter what our behavior is.
Yeah, if you're, I've heard this one when I was 9. If you're too energetic, you have ADHD. My ninth grade teacher, Mrs. Tinsley, thought I had ADHD.
She didn't think that, Dad. She didn't think that. She just claimed that so they could put you on drugs and harm you. It's not even about keeping you quiet. It's about the idea that the drugs are harming you. They're damaging your developing brain. You have to understand just how deep the hatred goes. They're trying to drug you to harm you. It's not a simple behavioral, uh, you know,
Because in the middle of social studies, I learned how to do this and was super excited about it and kept doing it. So, and I didn't have ADHD. I was just, the doctor said, no, he's just a 9-year-old. So,
yeah, exactly. So you were annoying her, and she said, "I'm going to destroy your brain." That's what was going through her mind, Dad. Dad in dark mode. It wasn't simply that you weren't sitting still. It's like this little N word is acting out. Time for punishment.
hats off to that doctor. But yeah, I mean, you're assertive. That means you're aggressive.
Oh, by the way, hats off to that doctor. Dad, the psychology institution is completely feminist dominated. And they're going to work their way into every niche of the medical institutions. So that guy who said you were simply a 9-year-old, he's going to disappear if he hasn't already. And he's going to be replaced by a guy who says, yeah, this little N word doesn't know his place. Time to destroy his brain.
If you disagree, that means you're oppositional, and if you're fidgety, then you're disruptive, right? And what happens to boys in this system? They adapt by shrinking. I've talked about this. Or they rebel and get punished for it. Either way, the message is clear. Boys, your nature is a problem.
I'm starting to see it in the youngest generation. I find it's the girls who, when high school is over, who want to like go and see the world and go for some educated, high status job. And the guys are just happy to stay at home because the world is a hostile place to guys and it's not to women.
By the time you hit adolescence, your default mode is appeasement. Say
Well, that was going to happen anyway. It's not just programming. They program boys simply because they hate the boys. The trouble is, Dad, puberty switches us over anyway. How many times have you seen like a bunch of 9-year-old boys having a ball together, and when that same group of boys hit 14, they're running off with their girlfriends. They're not interested in one another. Right. It's going to happen anyway. It's just that women hate men so much that they don't even they despise that window of freedom men have as boys.
sorry when she's upset. Do whatever makes her comfortable. Never raise your voice. Never assert your needs.
Yeah, know your place. That's it. You subhuman. Know your place, subhuman.
Never take up too much space. Don't be manspreading now.
Don't be there. That's why a lot of places like India, they have women only buses. They don't want men there. They hate us so much they don't want to see us.
You're not operating from strength. You're performing for approval because deep down the programming says if you're good enough, she won't leave, and if you're soft enough, you'll be safe, right? That's not love. That's fear-based compliance.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Dad. You've got some of the stuff you say is 100% correct. Right. But again, it's the programming is natural. It's not just that we're raised this way. Men are this way.
Just dressed up as virtue. The same women who instilled this fear told you to be a gentleman, right? Ironically enough, hold the door, pay for my meal, protect her, you know, listen without speaking, sacrifice your needs. And then in return,
Well, why would you say in return? Everything you said before that, Dad, says that we're subhumans. So I wouldn't even consider a return. I'd be saying I don't want to be treated like this in the first place.
disrespect when you set a boundary, accusations when you assert yourself, emotional manipulation when you withdraw, and rejection when you stop playing nice. See, it was never about mutual respect. It was about behavioral compliance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. You don't get applauded for being a good man. You get used. You get used and abused until you stop performing. And we talk about feminism like it's somehow confined to just college or social media.
Now you're getting it. Just a moment. All right, business taken care of.
But its more formative influence happens at home. It happens in the home.
Exactly. It's on an intimate level, Dad. That shows you that women do not like men.
Single moms projecting their unresolved anger at men onto their sons.
Hold it. You're making excuses for them. The reason why they're single is because they booted the men out. It's not that the man left the woman, and then she got angry and took it out on her son. The man got together with a woman who never liked him in the first place. Your father got together with a woman not realizing that she hated him in the first place. and his removal was inevitable. That's how it works, Dad.
Married women belittling their husbands in front of their kids,
There you go.
daughters that are learning to be dominant, and sons learning to submit.
Yeah, but again, a lot of this is natural. Little girls aren't taught that way. That's just what puberty does to them. A 5-year-old girl, she's happy to be around dad. She likes dad for himself. When she hits 12 or 13, she's going to judge dad by the car he drives. That's just nature.
I mean, you grew up thinking that love meant being agreeable, being needed, being useful. And now, as a man, I mean, this day and age, man, you're saying yes when you want to say no.
It's not just this day and age, dude. This has always been the gender dynamics worldwide, history-wide.
You let women walk all over you. You try to be be the safe guy, right? And wonder why they don't respect you.
Men pander to women, Dad. An engagement ring is a form of pandering to women. Engagement rings are worth a lot more than wedding bands. Why is that? Because wedding bands are for both of them, and the engagement ring is a bride. If you want a woman in your life, you have to submit. You have to pander. No exceptions.
You've been domesticated, dude. You've been tamed. You've been turned into a service animal. And
Bad analogy. Women love their pets.
dude, emotionally neutered men, they can't lead. The system just creates overthinking men.
Lead, you mean serve. That's what leadership is. It's serving. All the pressure of management is put on your shoulders. Middle management might be in charge, but they don't own anything. And they aren't the final word. That's what leadership is, Dad.
And over apologizing men, under respected men, men with no fire or voice or edge. Men who ask for permission to simply exist. You don't know how to lead because you were never allowed to in the first place.
You're never allowed to lead. If you're a leader, you would need allowance. This is how contradictory a statement that is, Dad. And the reasons why it's contradictory is because men don't get the basics. They don't get to the source of the problem. Men like women more than women like men. It's that simple. And so that's where the subservient role comes from.
You don't know how to confront because you were punished for it.
Well, you know how to confront. It's just that when you do confront, it's the end of the relationship. And men value the relationship.
You don't know how to hold frame in a relationship because the only frame you know is make sure she's happy or you'll lose everything.
There you go. You just admitted it.
A lot of men are just walking on eggshells in relationships right now, especially marriages, where they have everything to lose in the marriage and in the divorce, whereas the woman has everything to win and to gain.
But men never had anything to gain with marriage anyway. So entering it was a stupid idea from the get-go.
From both. But yeah, you were told masculinity is dangerous and that strength is oppression. that assertiveness is aggression. But the truth is that the absence of masculinity is the real danger.
No, 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 no. We are masculine. This is what masculinity is, Dad. To be male is to be subservient to the female. That's the way it is. You want to be fully human, you got to evolve beyond that. You got to evolve beyond relationships. All right. You want to be a free man, you've got to be ready to live alone. It's that simple.
If you want to see real chaos, go to a school with no male teachers. Go to a household with no strong father.
What do you mean with no strong father? Your dad is a woman worshiper, dude. Dad comes home, the mom complains, then he beats your ass. He's just a soldier for her.
Go to a neighborhood where men are absent and boys are raised by the state. You don't get order. You get complete and utter dysfunction.
Well, if so many boys are being raised by the states, what happened to all the strong men? Dad, what happened to all the strong men? Did they forget and let things slide? No, this is what male nature is. Male nature is to pander to women, to be subservient to them. That's why things are the way they are.
And why? It's because there's something missing. And no, ladies, it's not empathy. It's edge.
Don't beg the women. Don't beg the women. Uh, First of all, they're lying to you. They know men are empathetic. They know it. They're just lying. And if men were edgy towards women, we wouldn't be men. Hmm.
It's masculinity. That's the antidote, not the disease.
Okay, sorry, this is a begging video. Dude, the begging should have been done long ago. But it's nice to see men have at least reached the begging stage. At least you have some awareness, Dad.
So, men, you want your strength back?
No, no, I'm not hearing this horse shit. This is what we've always been, Dad. Dad mode in dark. This is what men are. Until you come to that conclusion, you will always be a hamster pushing the wheel around. Anyway, we'll end up here.